corrugated galvanized iron, steel, corrugated sheet metal, occasionally abbreviated CGI, is a building material composed of sheets of hot-dip galvanized mild steel, cold-rolled to produce a linear corrugated pattern in them. The corrugations increase the bending strength of the sheet in the direction perpendicular to the corrugations, but not parallel to them. Normally each sheet is manufactured longer in its strong direction. CGI is lightweight and easily transported. It was and still is widely used, especially in rural and military buildings such as sheds and water tanks. Its unique properties were used in the development of countries like Australia from the 1840s, and it is still helping developing countries today. Corrugated iron is equivalent to tinned roof. History. CGI was invented in the 1820s in Britain by Henry Robinson Palmer, architect and engineer to the London Dock Company. It was originally made from wrought iron. It proved to be light, strong, corrosion-resistant, and easily transported, and particularly lent itself to prefabricated structures and improvisation by semi-skilled workers. It soon became a common construction material in rural areas in the United States, Chile, New Zealand and Australia, and later India. And in Australia and Chile also became a common roofing material even in urban areas. In Australia and New Zealand particularly, it has become part of the cultural identity, and fashionable architectural use has become common. For roofing purposes, the sheets are laid somewhat like tiles, with a lateral overlap of 1½ corrugations, and a vertical overlap of about 150 mm, to provide for waterproofing. CGI is also a common construction material for industrial buildings throughout the world. Wrought iron CGI was gradually replaced by mild steel from around the 1890s, and iron CGI is no longer obtainable, but the common name has not been changed. Galvanized sheets with simple corrugations are also being gradually displaced by 55% AL zinc-coated steel coil-painted sheets with complex profiles. CGI remains common. Corrugation today. Today the corrugation process is carried out using the process of roll forming. This modern process is highly automated to achieve high productivity and low costs associated with labor. In the corrugation process, sheet metal is pulled off huge rolls and through rolling dies that form the corrugation. After the sheet metal passes through the rollers, it is automatically sheared off at a desired length. The standard shape of corrugated material is the round wavy style, but can be easily modified to a variety of shapes and sizes by simply changing the dies. Many materials today undergo the corrugation process. The most common materials are ferrous alloys, but may also span to stainless steels. Copper and aluminium are also used. Regular ferrous alloys are the most common due to price and availability. Common sizes of corrugated material can range from a very thin 30 gauge to a relatively thick 6 gauge. Thicker or thinner gauges may also be produced. Other materials such as plastic and fiberglass are also given the corrugated look. Many applications are available for these products, including using them with metal sheets to allow light to penetrate below. Pitch and depth. The corrugations are described in terms of pitch and depth. It is important for the pitch and depth to be quite uniform, in order for the sheets to be easily stackable for transport, and to overlap neatly when joining two sheets. Pitches have ranged from 25 mm to 125 mm. It was once common for CGI used for vertical walls to have a shorter pitch and depth than roofing CGI. This shorter pitched material was sometimes called rippled instead of corrugated. However, nowadays, nearly all CGI produced has the same pitch of 3 inches. Echo. Clapping hands or snapping one's fingers while standing next to perpendicular sheets of corrugated iron will produce a high-pitched echo with a rapidly falling pitch. This is due to a sequence of echoes from adjacent corrugations. If sound is traveling at 344 meters per second and the corrugated iron has a wavelength of 3 inches, this will produce an echo with a maximum wavelength of that order, which corresponds to a frequency of 4,500 Hz or so. The first part of the echo will have a much higher pitch because the sound impulses from A and nearly opposite the clapper will arrive almost simultaneously. Corrosion. Although galvanizing inhibits the corrosion of steel, rusting is inevitable, especially in marine areas, where the salt water encourages rust, and areas where the local rainfall is acidic. Corroded corrugated steel roofs can last for many years, particularly if the sheetings are protected by a layer of paint.